Yes, good evening, everyone. Good evening, my dear people across the world, my fans. Today, I will be talking about the politicians in Nigeria, what they've done to this country, what they intend to continue to do, what their plans are for 2023, and I will be sharing with you about what we are doing to enlighten our people. What we are doing to enlighten our people is what is now causing trouble for the Nigerian government or the politicians that are, and we are not hiding this. We're working it, trying to do this because if we call ourselves educated people, educated class in Nigeria, our education is not meant to be just for making money or just for the job only. Education should be total. We must use our education to enlighten our people, to help our people, to develop our people, so that the people can actually believe that our education has transformed their country. But before I go into the full details, please do me a favor. Kindly subscribe and press the subscribe button and do everything you can. Go to the Facebook. We are live on Facebook too as I'm talking to you. I am just doing what is expected of me as a citizen of this country. As a matter of fact, as a citizen of the world, is what they call my own quota to the development of my country, my own quota to the development of my people. That is exactly what I'm doing. This one is different from my job or anything. This is just a contribution to humanity. As I'm talking to you right now, the spate of kidnapping in Nigeria has reached an astronomical level. If you turn, if you think I'm lying, just type Google. I may type into Google kidnapping in Nigeria. You will hear about new kidnapping that has just happened today. And this kidnapping, it has turned into a business. Help me share. Let me see if I could equally do the same here. Help me to share. Or let me go to the dashboard. Okay. Help me to share. If you don't want to watch this here, you can equally go to our YouTube channel and just type into your YouTube channel my name, and you can be able to see our live broadcast all the way from there. My name is Olusegun Opanoga. So you can type Olusegun Opanoga MTDD leadership. I can share the screen with you here for you to be able to see it. broadcast all the way from there. My name is. We have a serious problem before us. We have a serious problem. And the problem we have now, like I said, is not insurmountable. It is not a problem that cannot be solved. But the only way this problem can be solved in Nigeria is for everybody to get involved in the nation building. You must get involved in nation building. And just like some of us that live abroad, you know how this country is driven mainly by the middle class. Because a society whereby the middle class just remain quiet and say nothing, or the middle class is compromised with the insanity of a system, that country can never stand. So the insanity in Nigeria is caused not only by the politicians, it's equally caused by the middle class. And the people that are at the receiving end are the poor ones. Let me share this. Please let me share this broadcast. I want people to um, have access to this information before they go to bed. Although some people from other countries might just be waking up, or some might just be um, at a situation whereby they are just eat the rich, eat the rich, the workers' party will rise up. Communism is the only way. Thank you very much um, for saying that. Sorry, I don't really know who that is. Sieve. Thank you. We have a big problem in our hands, and we can no longer be seen to be quiet. There are agitations here, agitations there, but the problem is part of the people that are agitating, they are equally part of this system, this rottenness in Nigeria. So the fear now is the agitation itself or the agitators might even be worse than the current problem we have now because they themselves have not been refined, they have not been tested, they have not tasted any power. So we need to make sure we are not just agitating or allowing the agitators to just go on and get new people or just make a noise. We want to equally make sure we first of all change the way the people think. We need to reorientate our people. So let me share this with other people. Please bear with me. Let me just share this because if we don't share this with people, then we are not doing the right thing, and we have to do the right thing. People need to see what is going on in Nigeria because if we don't educate people about what is going on, then we have not helped the society. Remember, some people were able to make me see what is going on in Nigeria from the information they share too. So from what I know too, I will be able to disseminate the same different information to the people about what I know too. So we are synergizing. We are helping our society to grow. We are changing the demography of our country. We are changing the life, the future of our people. What are your opinions on the climate change? I will not be able to talk about climate change now Because what I want to first of the illness in the country called Nigeria, because this illness has caused a lot of lives, is creating mayhem, instability, hopelessness in Nigeria as I'm talking. No matter investment you got in Nigeria right now, they don't matter if there's no security. So let me just make sure I get this right. Let me share this page with people. Oh, brilliant. Very good. Yes, I've succeeded in sharing this. Please help me to share as well, because in as much as I want people to come back and watch this, I want to give the people who are equally still maybe busy around, not asleep, to be part of this. As a matter of fact, your contribution will go a long way. We can chat about this. You can open up a chatting line whereby we can talk about it, put us together, because um, a tree does not make a forest. Yes, our politicians, they don't consult in Nigeria, but I consult. I work with people. I listen to people. They don't listen to people. They don't take many things that you and I say on board because of ideas. They are myopic. What to do? In fact, what you really don't know is these politicians, you might think they are very intelligent, you might think they have what it takes, but unfortunately, they are too arrogant to even listen to people. They are too arrogant to even want to take people's opinion on board. As a matter of fact, they already have their agenda of what they want to do. They already have agenda, because if they do not have an agenda, imagine from 1999, let us even forget about the military government. Those was aberration. I put those ones in the bin and I throw that bin away. I don't want to talk about military government again. They are irrelevant. They are not important. They should not even have been there in the first instance. They are not commissioned to be there. They are not constitutionally relevant to even be in charge of governance. So why do you want to give them any audience to even talk about them? Their job is well stated: to defend the integrity of a country. That is the rule. That is the responsibility of the military or any security apparatus. So we should not be bringing them into political discussion at all. Let us put them where they belong. Let us face our political class. Those are the people that are in charge of policy, and they are the one in charge of everything that we need to make a change. The politicians are the one using the military, politicizing the military, turning them against the people, using them against the people. Because who are the people paying the politicians? It is the taxpayers' money that they are using to pay. Sorry, who are the people paying the military? Who are the people changing the military formation? Who are the people proposing changing of military formation? Who are the people paying the salaries of their commanders. Who can remove the commanders? Who can replace the commanders? Politicians. So don't take it for granted. The politicians in your country, they are very, very important in the driving of that country. Please, whether they are uneducated, whether they are not very grounded, once they take their position of power, then they become the steering wheel of your future. So don't take this area for granted. That's why when I'm talking about politics anywhere, I do not joke because I know people's lives are inched in this area. How many people will die tomorrow can be determined by the politicians' way of life, way of talking, way of doing things, the policy they roll out. So they are the main people that we should be focusing on. If they are not doing their job well, the effect of that is what you and I are picking up. We have investment, we are living abroad, we can't go home. We are living within, we can't go out. We can't do anything because the politicians there are not taking our people in consultation. They don't consult with us for anything. I'm not saying that it's only limited to Nigeria. Even in abroad, it happens too. They can put consultation ahead of everybody, put it in your post and say, oh, we are consulting about the new building around. It does not mean that your opinion about that new building will change the opinion of the council from doing what they want to do. But at least they know that people have complained. They give you opportunity. So it happens here too. They can control the system. Even though they give you opportunity to talk about something, it does not mean your opinion will count, even as a citizen. But they will not tell you your opinion do not count. They will just say that we have taken your opinion on board. But it doesn't mean that the opinion. So it's not limited to UK or Nigeria. It is everywhere. A system cannot be left on its own to continue to work without people continually contributing to that system development. So if you are not involved in Nigeria, in your country's political issue, you are not doing anybody any favor. You are not even doing yourself a favor. You are not doing yourself a favor. In fact, you yourself, you have contributed to the problems of which your children will be part of it in the future. Let's talk about your school, the placement of your children in schools. Do you know that how your children are educated in the schools or which school they go to can be determined by the not by the money you have, but by the government that are in position power. Most of you in Nigeria today are paying so much money to educate your children because you have allowed these politicians to take over that area, give it to you without giving you any option. And the only option they gave you is a public school that is run down. And every year they budget certain amount for education, but we don't see it on ground. So if you think that because you have money, because you are working in an oil company, or you are well grounded financially, and you feel that putting your children abroad is helping the situation, you are just as myopic as the politicians themselves. Because we Nigerians have stopped thinking all of a sudden. We just stopped thinking. And when a society is shut down intellectually, then morons will run the show. The morons will run the show. When morons run the show, you feel the brunt of their stupidity, of their madness, of their incompetence, of many things. Because morons have been allowed to take over the system. And that's exactly what we have today. But what led to this nonsense is our attitude as a people towards the people in power. Our culture. Have you thought about our culture? This culture. Do you know that some of your leaders, they use your culture and tradition to manipulate you? Have you thought about that? Have you sat down to listen to how some of the people in position of power use rhetorics, use words to manipulate you? As a matter of fact, look at it from your home. Let us assume you have 3 children, and you know that your children are very assertive. They question you and say, "But dad, what do you mean by that? Why did you say that?" And if you know that you cannot give a concrete answer to their queries, what do? You find a way around it to either shut them down or just manipulate them so that you can continue with your own thing. The same thing, and it's called management. You are managing your family in the direction you want them to go. The same attitude is what the politicians do. It's the same attitude that your boss in your company use as well. It's called control mechanism. Control mechanism. We use words to control people. If the words cannot control people because they are too intelligent, then they use rules and regulations to hold you. And that is when the issue of disciplinary can come up, to chastise you, to hold you, to say, if you do not follow this instruction, we will, we might take you to disciplinary. And they will only use it not for everybody, they will use it for people they want to use it for. It's a control mechanism. So you have to understand how a system works. A system works in a very orderly way. And the people that are in charge of controlling the system, they perfect their ways very well. They are well groomed to do it. They use rhetorics, they use narratives, they use culture, they use tradition, they use the law, they use the constitution, they use everything to hold a system down. And when a system revolts against them, they use your security apparatus to go and control you because you have now come out. Let me read some of the things that people are saying here. Very good. Very good. Thank you. So we need to understand how government works. Let us take, for instance, in um, what do you call it, Hong Kong recently. Who can ever believe that Hong Kong can resort to what it resorted to for months by the youth? And what happened? Because the British government have given the Hong Kong to the Chinese government, and the Chinese government, they know that Hong Kong is a very highly commercialized area, very vital. So they want to bring a bit of control into that place so that they can start manipulating and usurp those people into the communism um, way of government. And people in Hong Kong, because they were once under British rule, they are used to democracy. So what happened? A bit of civil disobedience. So this issue is not limited to only Nigeria. Don't kind of be so myopic to say, oh, why Nigeria? It happened in Nigeria, and the politicians are getting away with it because you allow them. If you don't allow the politicians to get away with nonsense, the politicians will be in check. So when the politicians are running a system wrongly and the system is becoming comatose or becoming ungovernable, then it is because this is not the fault of the politicians, it is the fault of the people in that country that are not well groomed to know how to engage with the politicians. So we need to know how to galvanize our people to start bringing them back into the reality of how to engage their politicians. Youth empowerment, very important. In my case, at my age, I know that in my 50s, the only thing I'm left with is um, thinking about my retirement, which is coming up in the next um, um, maybe a decade or thereabouts. But for those who are very young, who have been trapped in a system that is not giving them employment or is not giving them a place to live, then these are the people that we should be targeting. These are the main place of target for us to work with. They are the ones we can target and monitor and empower strongly so that this youth can become the greater future tomorrow. If you Because let me tell you something. If I get older now, in my 80s, I want to go to good hospital. If I go to good hospital, I want good service there. If I get good service, I want to see that the system is always working and trusting that I could always go back. But who are the people that will be holding those hospitals then? It's not going to be 80-year-old person. It's going to be the young people in their 30s, in their 40s. Those ones in their 50s will be mostly their directors and so who have worked there for so long. This is the analysis of events. So that means I should be contributing immensely to ensure that these young people are well groomed to take over the future and guarantee that the future will be good for people like me. If I am not investing into that and empowering them, as a matter of fact, if we are not empowering our youths vigorously, then uh, we ourselves, our future is not guaranteed that it will be settled because you have not empowered the youth. So that is why the politicians in Nigeria, they have killed Nigeria and they have destroyed the Nigerian dreams. For most of you that are in your 20s, you don't even know what Nigeria was like in the 60s, in the 70s, in the 80s. Do you know that Nigeria in the 70s, in the 60s, was a kind of Nigeria whereby many Nigerians who travel abroad, they were told that they should come home and get a job. And most of them left UK, left abroad to go back and apply for a job, and they got a job. Same thing happened. I remember up to 1992, people like us who did the engineering, we still had our names pasted on the wall of the companies we are going to go to. But those things just vanished in one day, in just within certain time. So the promise of living in a country called Nigeria was becoming a tall dream. And we never saw or felt the impact of any of our middle class then to fight back and protect people like us so that we do not have to leave our country to go abroad. But I'm not saying that whether you find a good job in your home country, you still cannot opt to go to abroad for a better life. People do it. People in UK travel abroad. They travel to Spain. They travel to Holland. They travel to Dubai. They travel to China. There are many British who are living in China. Some are living in Australia. Some are living. Many of them are living in America. So people do travel for one reason or the other. So it's not because only to be limited to economic activities. Sometimes it could be as a matter of choice. I have a colleague of mine who left our workplace and said he's going to Singapore, and it's not as if he was not well. Uh, what do you call it? Uh, I mean, well employed in UK. He was well employed, but he wants to go to Singapore to join his family and start a new home there, a new family life there. So leaving a place for another place is a matter of choice, but the choice should be made based on your circumstances. It should not be compelled by your government forcing you out. That is exactly what is going on in Nigeria. The government is intentionally forcing people into slavery. They are intentionally forcing people into slavery. So we have to make sure we that came abroad and became economic exiles. What do I mean by economic exiles? That means you have left your country because of the fact that you cannot be able to enjoy the economy of that country. And when we travel abroad, we thought that we would be able to go back within a short time, but we ended up having a family, having many ties abroad, and we ended up living in that country. So to go back and live in your country, you have to take a kind of very strong decision to do that. Either you want to take the whole family home, or you want to go home, create the environment for your family before you now take everybody home. And it's always a risk. But the problem now is majority of the people who have gone to Nigeria to invest after living abroad or while still living abroad, and they have built a home, they have started their business. Some of them at the moment are getting kidnapped. So the fear of traveling home is rife. So all the investment you might think you have will not guarantee you your safety. It will not guarantee you your happiness because the government in Nigeria intentionally refused to provide security for the people. And they are doing it intentionally because they want to chase people away from coming to that country so that they alone can continue to control that country's finance, control the resources. They don't want people like us to come home and contest it with them. So it was well designed. So that's why I said that anything that the politicians do, they have an agenda. They have they have thought about it. They have thought about the pros and cons. They have thought about the effect of what they want to do. That's why you see them jostling to take over that power because power is sweet. Once you take over power, you can control how you want the power to move. So we, as educated people, we have to find a way to reach a balance. We are not negotiating with the politicians. We are just going to make sure because let me tell you something. Freedom can never be given. It can only be earned. You can only earn freedom. You cannot you cannot be given freedom. I've never seen any country where freedom is given freely. So anybody saying, "Oh, maybe one day the politicians will look into how we are feeling, or the leaders will look into," no, that one day will never come. You have to come out of your shell and go out and demand for what belongs to you. You are one of the stakeholders of that country called Nigeria. And if you are one of the stakeholders because you were born there, you are living there, you are any living there, you are a stakeholder. But your level of stakeholding in Nigeria is determined. I mean, is determined by your own involvement in that system, how the system is run, how policy making are made, how to change the policy, how to put pressure on your government to change the policy, the politicians. That's why we must have a pressure group. Agitating for a nation is not a bad thing, but the culture of the people who want to agitate for something, we need to put it in check and continue to monitor it very seriously. Because when there's a protest, you will have the criminals, you will have those who want a change, and you will have those people who want to take opportunity of wherever it goes, how they will benefit. Same thing with agitators. You will have people who are already thinking of how to make money out of this insanity, and you have those people who are genuinely looking for how to take the control of their own life, and you have the people who, whereby when you get the power, they want to come and use force to get you out. So do not underestimate all these different categories of people agitating. That is why we have to keep an eye on every movement, every statement coming up from every angles, not only from the agitators, from the politicians, because some politicians, as I'm talking to you, might already be thinking of how to make use of this agitation to create mayhem to make themselves relevant. So we as a educated class, our job is to analyze events, analyze rhetorics, narratives used by people, and use it as a way to make a an informative decision on the direction we want to go. The politicians in Nigeria are intentionally, or let me read. Somebody says, "I got you, sir. You are a true genius. Thank you for spreading your wisdom. Farewell." Thank you very much. So our job as educated people is to empower the youth. Government is not designed to create jobs. If people don't know that, you should know it now. As a matter of fact, most people who become government officials, they are not job creators. Some people will say government job is a lazy job. It's a job for lazy thinkers. I will disagree, and I will agree to some extent. Government job is not an easy job. It's a job of administration, administering people's life and looking at how whatever decision you take, how it will benefit all stakeholders, the investors, the employers, the employees, the users, and so many people. That's the job of a government. They put everybody in one glass cup and look at what is good for each and everyone. So we, the educated class, need to come out. The problem we have in Nigeria today is that most of the people who are very educated, who have good jobs, they are not coming out from their shell, but they are suffering. Some are scared that they don't want to be part of the political system because of kidnapping or chastising or government or losing their job. But the problem is that the fear of losing your job, all because of the fact that you want to ask for what belongs to you, is a self-defeatist. Because it is your right to ask for what belongs to you. The government can become so wicked to the point that even the money you are earning, you might not be able to have a savings, or you might not even be able to have enough to even look after your family if you're not careful. So you will work, still you will still be poor. Do you think it's impossible to be working and to be poor? Do you think it's impossible to be rich and to still be poor? The government can make it happen to you for you. So we need to be to ensure that we are always involved. I listened to some of the statement coming out from Nigeria. The president of Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari, in the past 6 years that he has become a president, he has never y- tried his, he has never made great impact in sector, the health sector of Nigeria, to ensure that many medical facilities that are abroad can be used in Nigeria. So every time he's always saying he's coming abroad for medical treatment, and he's using taxpayers' money for that. It costs a lot of money. Majority, in fact, more than 90% or 80% of Nigerians do not have access to good health facilities. And more than 90% do not have access to abroad for medical facilities. So the only super class of Nigeria, they are the ones that come abroad ready to spend hundreds of thousands of pounds for medical checkup abroad. And they are not even using their money, they are using the people's money for their own lifestyle. So we, the people, we need to make sure that now that the president has come again, what are we doing as a people to checkmate this kind of nuisance or innuendos? I was very happy when I saw a poster today that people are going to protest on Friday and make their way to the Nigerian house where the government and Nigerian president normally comes to live. They are going on a protest there to tell the president to go back home and go and fix the hospitals, the clinics there for majority of the people to use and for he himself to use. Nigeria has money. Every country has money, but it's the way you use your money that will determine the kind of system you're going to end up with. So I don't always believe that United Kingdom or Europe or America are richer than Africa. Every country is rich, but people manage their money differently. You'll be surprised if I tell you that one of the leading parties stalwart by the name Ashiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, a man that has been in politics for more than 30 years or 20 something years, he was the one coming to make a statement that Nigerian youths in their millions can be packed because they don't have a job. It does not see them as useful tools for the development of the country. It sees them as a useless set of youths. And these are the same youths that they are using for their political mayhem when the election comes. He is saying that these youths will be gathered together and be dumped in the Nigerian army, Nigerian police, and spread them out. And he did not even stop there. He was posting that when they put them there, they will give them cassava, they will give them yam, they will give them corns as food. So he's now using that as a way to encourage the farmers to be producing more of yam, more of cassava, more of cons, so that the Nigerian youth will be the receiving end for that. Even if the Nigerian police or Nigerian army are being fed with cassava, that is still part of slavery. That is still part of inhumane attitude of human beings towards human beings. But this came directly from the mouth of a leader, a man who everybody was talking about in Nigeria, that he might be the next person to become the president of Nigeria. But I'm telling you, as if I knew, he was trying now to withdraw that statement because it has gone viral. It has gone viral. It's not, they are now trying to do what they call damage control. He came to deny it. He said it yesterday. We saw the video, which the video was spread around. He now quickly came out and denied it. But that is exactly his feeling. He wants to dump children who are well educated. He wants to dump them in the army and feed them with cassava, feed them with yam, feed them with corns. He's not going to feed them with the good nutrients of balanced diet for them to be healthy, so that there will be no, they will not be susceptible to pandemics or diseases. He will actually pack them in the army and possibly feed them with the food that they will just die slowly. So he's already thinking about reducing the population by his own design, reducing the population of Nigeria and within certain time, because he feels that the youths are too many, they are useless, they cannot be used for anything. So he wants to find a way to just put them in the army and get rid of them. And he proposed this for the whole nation. He has never talked about skill acquisition. He has never proposed anything good. He himself, in the past 30 years that he has been in politics, has never done anything good for the development of that country or the place he has been. And yet, unfortunately, the people who are at the driving wheel of this man's what do you call it, positive thinking that he will become a president, are the middle class, or they are the kind of people who are equally eating from this madness. It's a serious matter. It is an extremely serious matter. But we will not just give them room to think they can do and undo without a challenge. We're going to challenge. We are challenging the system. We are challenging the status quo. We know we are taking risk, but the risk we are taking is worth it. It's worth it not for us alone. It's worth it for our children. But remember, think about it in your own widest dream. What if we are saying nothing? What if people like me are saying nothing? What if I just come back from work, I go straight to bed, look after my family, give them a kiss good night, and they wake up again, provide money for upkeep, think about them alone, do nothing about anybody, think about nobody, travel abroad, enjoy life, and that's it. And I don't care about whatever happens to anybody. What if I continue to live this kind of life every day, like many Nigerians are doing? That means the people we put in position of power will just be having an easy way to do more and more havoc on our people. But our job as enlightened people in Nigeria is to encourage our youth to come out and demand for what belongs to them. If the government needs help, they know how to seek for that help, but they are intentionally hiding away from giving that help or seeking for that help, so that the society is not very fully galvanized for development. And the reason for that is because they want to continue to be in power and impoverish the people, because they know that when the people are impoverished, they can be easily manipulated and controlled. But we are saying that it is no longer going to be business as usual. We're going to challenge the status quo. We're going to let them know that Nigeria belongs to all. I can't go back. Many people can't go back. Some that went, they got kidnapped or they got robbed. As a matter of fact, in the worst scenario, some never came back. This is happening in Nigeria. But Nigeria is a beautiful place. But some people, especially the politicians, they are intentionally doing everything humanly possible, working with their cohorts in that shady way of thinking to subvert the good intention of good people so that evil can triumph. So our job is to challenge the status quo. If we refuse to challenge the status quo, if we refuse to share, like what I'm doing, is part of the awareness. When you share it, other people will see it. When they see it, they too they are encouraged. Some will listen, some will just grab few things, and they too, it's like a seed. You share. When you share this thing that I'm saying, you share with other people to gain to take advantage of what I'm saying. They too they become encouraged and want to do something. And as we grow and grow and grow and grow and grow, say a Rome is not made in a day. As we grow and grow, talking about Nigerian and the government and the people and the profiling solution, then our voice will start getting to the main uh, power brokers, the main movers and shakers of the society. I'm very happy to let you know that today or yesterday, some of our youths they went all the way to the king's palace, one of the kings, the prominent king in the Yoruba land, to go and protest to show their grievances. And I do not, and as much as I appreciate that, they should not relent. They should go to their local government chairman too. They should go and protest in front of the local government chairman. They should go and protest in front of their MPs. They should actually take their cameras and ensure that the locality or the area that is covered by their MP, by their senators and their House of Rep, they take picture of most of the things that they sent the the the, uh, the their senators and their House of Rep have not done, and expose it and let them know that they have not done this area. And you can proceed to know whether they have actually collected money for it. Because what happens most times in Nigeria is that the politicians they will get the money from the government, they create that project on a blueprint, they've got the project actually in paper that is going to be done. They present it, they know they perfect this very well. I know how it works. They perfect it, they produce it before the government. The government will now raise fund for it. When the government raise fund for it, they give it to their, it's called constituency allowance. When they get the money will be given to them, but they will not do the work. And what they do most times is this: they will send contractors to that place. The contractors will do the billboard saying that something is going to happen here. They will take the picture as a way to show to government that they are already doing it. Because the government in Nigeria do not have very good monitoring um, structure in place. They will not come and monitor, or sometimes they do, but they are working in conjunction with the local criminals called the senators or the House of Rep. At the end of the day, like syndicates, they share the money, and your road will not be tarred. If your road is tarred, correct materials will not be used. These are all the avenue of which your money go out and nothing gets done. So if you see that majority of the society in Nigeria are remaining poor, it is not only from the federal government alone, it is to your local government, state government, traditional leaders. All of them are part of this syndicate to control the people, collect their money, and not allow the money to trickle down. So your problem in Nigeria is not in the hands of only Buhari. It's a syndicated work among the politicians within a party to ensure that the money does not trickle down, and they use your money to um, they share your money to buy nice houses abroad, to buy nice houses in your country, do no projects and collect money from it. That's why you see them joining all sort of societal clubs. They belong to different societal clubs so that they cannot be probed. And in those clubs, we have the lawyers who could have defended you. They are part of those clubs. They are part of the sharing ring. Your lawyers. That's why justice can never be done. You can never see justice because even up to your so-called journalist, the journalist that you will expect that you should come and cover the report for your area, he will get the money from them and he will not cover the report. He will come, but he will not allow the report to scale through. So nobody will know about it. And that is what we people like us, independent people, are doing as a pressure group to ensure that information comes out and we are able to share it. So thank God for social media, which allows people to be able to question the status quo of people who are well connected together to criminally take people's money and do nothing. Please continue to share. Let me share this too. So, our politicians have killed Nigeria and they have destroyed the Nigerian dreams. But you know what? Hope is not lost. Hope is not fully lost. I can tell you that. Hope is not fully lost. We can work together as people to bring the hopeless situation and restore the hope of that country. It's a collective effort. It's not limited to the politicians. It's not limited to me. It's not limited to any of us. It is a collective effort. We must work together and rescue our country from criminal activities perpetrated by people we put in position of power. On this note, I say thank you. Let me try and recognize everyone who has been watching. Uh, Thank you, Mr. Olu Olawole. And we got many other people here. I don't really know them, but they are all watching from there, and they've all contributed. Say, some of them say, "What are your views on Muslims in China?" Um, Unfortunately, I don't really know. Under human rights, um, I believe that the Chinese government they are doing something very wrong. But we have a control, a highly in China, whereby it's a communist country and it's totalitarian regime. So they are not democratic. People's voice don't count. So whatever they do, you don't have any pressure group to fight for you. Pressure groups are kind of subverted. They are they are under pressure. They are chastised by the Chinese government. So even to the point that the Chinese government do not even want internet to be the internet in China to be connected to the international star server, to other servers away from China, so the information don't go out. It's even much worse in North Korea. But I believe when the international community continues to put pressure in China, I believe we can be able to have access to some of the things going on there. There are a lot of atrocities going on in China. But let me tell you something. We have atrocities going on in Britain, in America, in Australia, in everywhere in the world. But if the people are not kind of exposing it, or they are compromised, or they are not ensuring that they work together to make sure they get to the roots of this, because it is a human nature to oppress, but it is equally the human nature to ensure that they stop it. As you stop one, another one comes up. So government is continual. It's not limited. You cannot say because you have won one battle today, you relax. When it comes to governance, because it's human, you're dealing with human beings. Every time decisions are taken, either that will favor you or may not favor you. So if you don't question it, you just relax and say nothing, then you are allowed the system to go unchecked. When you are the kind of person that like to challenge the system, sometimes they call you a rebel. They call you a non-compromise. They call you all sorts of names in order to subvert you. They will even get to the point of trying to demean you, to give you bad name. It's a part of control mechanism that is used by people in power. So our job is to make sure we are using everything within our means to ensure our voice come out. If I'm in power tomorrow, please do not just relax and just allow me to do everything because you trust me. Checkmate me, question me. If you're not doing it, I'm a human being. I cannot be perfect. If people are not talking about what goes on in their life and not challenging it, then you have given me a room to feel that I'm doing the right thing. So I'll just continue to do the right thing, even the wrong thing, and thinking that it's the right thing because nobody is questioning it. But once you question it and say, and you know it's something that you want to question and you feel is strong, then come out and challenge it, expose it. If you don't get the right response, a government should always be put in place. I mean, checkmated. Everybody is part of government, and we must use our God-given talent and resources to make sure our country, our community is functioning well by challenging the status quo. On this note, I say big thank you to everyone. Please endeavor to share this page or this live stream so that other people can have benefits of watching it. On this note, I say thank you and good night.